All right, hey everybody, Mark Burgess here, Big East Bass Fishing again. I got some very interesting news to share with you all. Okay, this is obviously regarding the Mass State record largemouth bass. Everybody knows it's followed the video series, which by the way, you can go to that playlist, Massachusetts State Record, on my YouTube channel, and see all the videos connected to this from the time I first posted, the picture of Walter Balloonist. Okay, so since then, it's just grown legs, and we're making some really good progress. Okay, so the progress I made, twofold. I want to share two things with you. First of all, I did hear back from Mass Fish and Wildlife. The biologist reached out. We had about an hour conversation regarding this fish, the next biggest fish, the record, the story, the testimony from Joe, being 12 years old, witnessing the fish coming up from Florida in a 55-gallon drum, being put in a heated 300-gallon horse trough, fed wild shiners, and submitted for the Mass State record that it was caught through the ice on Sampson's Pond. So we talked about all that. We talked about the record keeping. Mass Fish and Wildlife has digital records going back to like 2000. Okay, beyond that, older than that, they still have records, but it's all old school. Like paper in a filing cabinet or in a box, whatever. So they're digging through all that. They're starting their own work on this as well. And what we really want to do is find a skin mount of the fish, okay? Because they are willing and want to study the DNA of the fish through scales. Even though they're 51 years old, they can still obtain certain information to determine if it is a Florida strain bass. How much Florida strain bass genetics are in this fish, okay? They can also take a bone fragment like around the jaw, some of that hard cartilage like inside. Again, has to be from a skin mount, obviously. So that's great, okay? So anybody planning on ganging up on them at the New England Fishing Expo here coming up at the end of the month in Marlboro, I would recommend you hold off on that, okay? You can certainly have conversations, whatever you want to do there, but don't put them on the spot. Are you going to turn over the record? What are you going to do? There's going to be people who go there that don't see this video, okay? So I know that's going to happen. They know it's going to happen. So let's just try to be, polite and professional and all working towards the same thing, okay? All right, so while that's being done, I'm continuing my work, which they're very appreciative of, okay? Because they don't have the time and resources to do what I've done, okay, to this point. And that kind of segues into the next thing I want to talk about. There were numerous reports of these fish, okay, from skin mounts, from taxidermists in Pembroke to auction houses, and people bought a skin mount of a big fish. And the internet, especially with AI, they take information and they just run with it. It's not always factual, okay? I know you find that hard to believe, okay? So anyway, that led me down a number of rabbit holes, which I went down and I chased, okay? And again, go back and watch the previous videos. Go to the playlist, Massachusetts State Record Largemouth Bass, on this channel, my YouTube channel, Big East Bass Fishing with Mark Burgess. Can't believe I had trouble saying that. Anyway, and you'll see the progression, okay? There's 4 or 5 full-length videos, about the same, shorts, okay? With links to the longer video. So anyway, I chased down another lead, okay, which number of people forward me information, where there might be a possible mount, where they saw a mount years ago. And I've been to a lot of the places, okay? So I've been to Red Top, I've spoke to Red Top, I've been down to Goose Hummock. Okay, very interesting development with that as well. I've been down, to where the skin mount is that was bought at the auction, which was reportedly of that fish. Same auction house, same year, same time frame. And it's not the fish, okay? It's not the fish. Not only does it not look like the fish, it's not anywhere near as big. It's a big fish. It's like between 8 and 9 pounds, hard to tell, but you'll see it again. It's in the videos, all right? So go back and look. There was another story of it hanging on like a restaurant, like a breakfast place restaurant, okay? So I have checked that out, okay? And this is what's real exciting, okay? So I didn't video my first interaction, when I walked in, because they were just ready to close, okay? And when I walked in, I told them who I was and what I was doing. And the waitress, she had a big smile on her face, and she said, "Yes, I'm familiar with that fish. It's still in the family." All right, so I'm excited now. Awesome. Here's the person you need to talk to. We exchanged information. I went out to get some of my Biggie's bass fishing cards, and when I came back in, that person had just walked in through the back. So I had an awesome conversation with him. He put his father on the phone, who has one of the mounts, okay? Now, and you say, one of the mounts? Yeah. He believes that there was at least 2, if not 3. He believes 3, okay? But he can't put his hand on the third one. The 2 mounts, one of them is that mount at Goose Hummock Shops. I mean, after I got back and put the video together, looking at the fish that Walter's holding when it was probably just recent, before it went in for the record, submitted for the record, probably wasn't alive, I could see certain characteristics of the fish. Okay, so then I looked at that mount, and then I didn't know that the people that were there weren't the original owners of the shop and didn't really have, it was just there. It's always been there. So they didn't know. You heard, if you watch, again, go back and watch the videos, he thought it was an 11-pounder. I'm looking at it, I'm like, that's a big fish. The fish on that board, as you can see, if you go back, there's pictures of Walter, 2 pictures of Walter with the fish. Okay, so why would there be 2 pictures of Walter on this display, right? Screwed to it. Actual photographs, small framed, inside the frame of this 3-fish stringer, okay, vertically. Talking to this gentleman's father, he said, yeah, that's what this taxidermist did. Put him on a grayish wooden, like a grayish brown backboard, and they were vertical, okay? So I sent him the pictures. I go, does this look like your mount? He said, yes, it does. That is one of the replicas. Awesome. My plans are to go back down to Goose Hummock and just ask permission if I can actually get in there behind the stuff that it was blocked. All right, and pretty high up. And I had a chest mount on, but I had to actually put my hand way up in the air with the camera to get up over the stuff to actually see what I saw in the footage. So I'm going to go back down with a tape measure, and I'm going to try to get some really good pictures of the pictures and see what that little note says as well. All right, so what he told me was that this taxidermist made a fiberglass replica of the fish using the fish, made a mold of Walter's fish, of that 15-pound, 8-ounce largemouth bass, made a mold of it, okay, using the actual fish, the whole fish. And it's a one-off process. He believes he made 3. He knows definitely for sure there's 2, but pretty sure there's 3. So anyway, so he made the mold of the fish. Then he hand painted the fish, okay, to create the fiberglass replica mount. So it is of actual dimensions, okay? And there's been, I mean, in my research, the fish, well, I first saw it was 27.5 inches. I've seen it was 25 inches long. I've seen it was most recently 28 inches long. Always had a 23-inch girth, okay? So anyway, it's a long fish, all right? So he has this mount. He's had it for a long, long time. It was hanging in this restaurant. I got pictures of that from a distance. We are supposed to get together, and I'm going to go down and actually sit with him, listen to the stories, listen to the history of how he came upon this mount, what he knows, okay? So I'm super looking forward to that, and of course, I'm going to share it with you. It's not, in my mind right now, it's not going to be like an interview situation like I did with Joe. This is just going to be a couple guys, probably 3 of us, just having a conversation regarding this fish, and like I said, how they came upon it, and what he knows, or what he heard, and you know, basically the story about the mount. Okay, so that's what's coming. So stay tuned. Real excited to be able to do this. I can't wait to get down and meet this person. Like I said, I've met his son. And supposedly he's got a lot of cool mounts and things, and he's like a phenomenal fisherman. His son said he's got numerous pins, state pins, silver, gold pins from big fish throughout his life fishing. So he knows what he's talking about. He's one of us, a fisherman, and like I said, I'm excited to talk to him and share that conversation with all of you. So that's the latest, okay, that I got for you. All right, appreciate everybody watching, and to this point for sure. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate it. And we will see you on the next one.